Hey guys, my name is Timber, and if you attended our class this evening, you probably noticed I take every available opportunity to turn my assignments into feminist rants. So of course I immediately volunteered to jump on my soapbox and share some feminist rhetoric examples that can be seen in the current presidential campaign. My generation of feminists are committed to reinforcing the foundation that the suffragette generation built for us. While all the major legal elements of equality have been established, women are still subject to the culture, perceptions, stereotypes, social status, and treatment that centuries of systemic sexism have established. This cultural change will come by altering rhetoric, removing and adding those acute and often subconscious meanings that reinforce beliefs. We saw some of these meanings in Senator Elizabeth Warren's presidential campaign this year. Attached to my post are some examples of merchandise available on Senator Warren's campaign website. I took screenshots of buttons, t-shirts, and a bag that display both symbolic and indexical meanings of the feminist movement and women empowerment. The buttons specifically reflect indexical meanings. The first button, Hope Over Fear, displays indexical meaning as women, along with many other minority groups, often feel fearful and hopeless in their situations. Systemic sexism and misogyny have always made women feel like second-class citizens, and that their lives and personal safety are in danger of those who view women as objects, a concept reinforced by patriarchal locker room talk that's widely excused and even accepted by society. This button supports Warren as a catalyst for women and other disenfranchised minority groups who hope to gain legitimacy and power in the American political system and make steps to overcome the fear associated with the repercussions of a culture that views groups as less than others. The second button, Courage Over Cynicism, is also indexical of the feminist struggle. Women's opinions, intelligence, ability, and emotions are often discounted and illegitimized by ad hominem, attacking their gender versus actual substance, citing fabricated stereotypes of women. This button highlights Warren's courage and strength to fight the man and overcome cynicism automatically attached to her based on her sex. This button is also iconic of Warren's famous encounter with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, which is symbolically represented on the t-shirts the website also sells by his infamous quote, "Nevertheless, she persisted." This is reinforced by the boxing gloves graphic on the shirts, a symbolic reminder to keep fighting, regardless of setback and attempts at silencing you. If you're not familiar with the quote, let me give you the quick synopsis. At the confirmation of Jeff Sessions as Attorney General in 2017, Senator Warren objected to his appointment by quoting former Senator Ted Kennedy, who had previously held her seat as the Senator of Massachusetts, and Coretta Scott King, who we all know as the wife of Martin Luther King Jr., regarding Sessions' poor track record in upholding civil rights as a judicial leader. Warren was repeatedly interrupted and was voted by Republicans to be silenced, citing a rule that did not in fact apply, although her quotes had been previously admitted in the Senate record in 1986, and later in the same hearing was recited in full by male Senator Jeff Merkley to no objection or interruption. Surprise, surprise. Mitch McConnell was quoted as saying of Warren, "She was warned, she was given an explanation, nevertheless, she persisted." This gross example of disproportionately silencing women, especially when they're right, was adopted as a feminist motto and has entered the societal consciousness as a symbol of persistence and empowerment. Moscow Mitch's quote even appeared as the Women's History Month theme for 2018. Nevertheless, she persisted, honoring women who fight all forms of discrimination against women. A lesser-known rally cry that was added to the feminist movement lexicon thanks to Senator Warren is displayed on the last merchandise picture I've included from her campaign. "Impolite, arrogant women make history." This was coined in 2017 by White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, describing Senator Warren as impolite and arrogant when she demanded answers to detained travelers at Boston International following Trump's travel ban, as it had violated court orders. She had simply asked for a direct line to the Chief of Staff when he repeatedly offered her the General Homeland Security number found on their .gov. We often hear different descriptions for the same personality traits used for men and women. The same trait for a man that would be described as no-nonsense would be used to describe a female as a bitch or impolite. Confidence as a man is described as arrogance in a woman. Warren includes this phrase in her campaign, choosing to embrace this vernacular and empower it, rather than argue the ad hominem or back down. Senator Warren unapologetically calls out the disenfranchisement of women as exactly what it is, an abuse of power. Criticism of exploitative elites and corrupt capitalism practice that, by the way, exploit changes in the dynamic family structure as women went to work, are issues that Warren has seamlessly interwoven in her rhetoric throughout her career. Elizabeth Warren is absolutely an artifact to many people, especially progressive women in the United States. Warren is one of the top 5 cited law professors of all time regarding bankruptcy, and proposed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in 2007 when she was still a professor to protect Americans from exploitation by financial institutions, which she did in fact go on to establish. Her fearlessness in confronting powerful men, note her takedown of the Wells Fargo CEO with the CFPB, stands as a model of motivation for women in America, empowering them to stand strong against misogyny and not shrink at the opposition of men as we have been conditioned to do. Obviously, Warren dropped out of the Democratic primary race, and I'm not campaigning for her. I personally was a fan of Andrew Yang, if you're interested, who, by the way, would be an excellent subject this week for examining Marxist rhetoric if you haven't done your assignment yet. But Elizabeth Warren still stands as a symbol of support and empowerment for myself and many other feminists.